What's good, yo? What's good? Your boy Mike Sears, Benderburg representative, Speaking Clout podcast. And I'm here with two special guests, the homie Rone Bone up beneath the dirt. How you doing this afternoon, brother?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Okay, man. Staying safe,
Yeah, buddy.
blowing blunts, drinking beer,
There you
normal
go.
shit, you know.
Yes, sir.
And I got the homie Jokerz Gallery, man. You know him for his 20 and 17 documentaries, his Alice in Chain documentary, all that fly shit. How you doing, brother?
What's good, y'all? I'm ready to talk some Twiztid. It was good to jump into some other music. I've been knee deep in Alice in Chains for the last 6 months trying to put that documentary together. So it was pretty refreshing to jump in. I listened to all the classic Twiztid albums whenever I was putting this list together because I was telling you whenever we was putting it together, I kind of listened to Twiztid as an album. So I've never really sat down and tried to put down my top 10 singles. It was a fun thing to do.
Oh yeah. I always have a hard time with these lists, Me and the rest of the fellows on Speaking Clout do them, and it's comes down to what I love the absolute most, and then I'm happy with the list. I'm happy with this list. So, like every other show, like we do, we talk about how we discovered the artist. Me and Rone talked about it on the Most Tasteless episode, but let's do it again for the sake of the fucking show. So, Rone Bone, how'd you discover Twiztid, brother?
Forgotten Freshness, $85 an hour was the very first time I heard Twiztid. And I remember after heard that, found out that they had out an album, went to a friend's house because there was like one kid in the neighborhood that had the internet, found out they got an album, found out Most Tasteless was out. The kid that I went to the house with, he actually found the CD in the store, the OG press. And, I ripped a copy of it. And from there it was on.
Oh, yeah. How about you, Vern?
When it comes to
Oh, fuck. Is that just me or what?
No, I can't hear him.
You can't hear me?
Now. Yeah.
You can hear me now? All right, word up. Whenever it comes to Twiztid, the first thing that I remember him on was the Howard Stern interview where ICP was on Howard Stern and they snuck Twiztid in as their bodyguards, quote unquote.
With the mask?
And yeah, Matt, they were wearing lucha mask and like black hoodies and camo pants.
Yep.
So that's the first time I ever saw them. I remember seeing them in the back of the car on the Hocus Pocus video, but I didn't really know like their music whenever I just seen them in the back and figured that was Twiztid because Shaggy's wearing a Twiztid shirt in the video, and who else would it be in the back of the whip with him wearing a Twiztid shirt if that wasn't Twiztid? But I of course heard them on $85 an hour, but that's like a freestyle song. The first time I ever experienced Twiztid was Hallowicked '98. Cottonmouth Kings got kicked off of that tour, so I guess Twiztid got to jump on and do like a three song set, and that was the first time I'd ever like heard anything outside of $85 an hour, and it just stuck in my head like just Secondhand Smoke, especially like that first line from Secondhand Smoke stuck in my head to the point that on my 36-hour bus trip back to Owensboro on a Greyhound, that's what I was remembering is that fucking I represent the East Side, no peace, fuck the police. That was just in my brain so much, and I didn't really know what album it was on or anything. So as soon as I got home, I went to the mall. It was the store was called Disc Jockey back then before they turned into FYE, and they just happened to have the original Most Tasteless there, and I picked it up and been a fan ever since.
That is so dope. That is so dope. And you guys summed up my experience, man. The very first Insane Clown Posse album to drop since I've been down was Forgotten Freshness, Rounds 1 and 2. We just did it on UFCD. And $85 an hour featuring Twiztid. And she was funny, dope at the same time. And like Brandon said, it's funny because as a young kid, even now, I'm good at putting two things together. So I'm like, okay, the dudes in the whip with ICP, that got to be Twiztid. These guys on $85 an hour, you know what I mean? It's got to be them. And
you had to do that before Google was around. Like you kind of had to develop that talent to be able to just put things together for yourself in 1997. You couldn't Google that shit.
The VHS tape documentary, and that's when I seen it. And Shaq had that dope red Twiztid shirt on.
Yo,
and I was like, that got to be them. And then just randomly cruising FYE, then Record Town, and I seen Most Tasteless OG, and I had to cop it. And blew me away because at that time, listening to a lot of boom bap shit, hip hop from each region, and Twiztid had that kind of flavor where these dudes can really rap. It ain't just comedy with them. You know,
Right.
they can really rhyme. And oh man, I've been a mark ever since for that shit, man. So that's my introduction to the Demented duo.
Hell
You know?
yeah.
Yeah. Let's get to the nitty gritty. I'm just excited for this, man.
Hell yeah. Let's break
Number,
this shit down.
so if you like me, Rone, then Jokerz Galley. Let's do it that way.
Let's do it.
So my number 10 is off an album that some people consider their best. And if they did, I wouldn't argue, man. 2012 Abominations, I'm going Rep That Wicked. Whew, like growing up as a kid, I was a Mad Drox mark. I'm talking, nigga had the spider legs in high school shit. Like, I thought it was an illest MC on Psychopathic, but Mono just was straight bodying shit around this time. And he killed that verse. You know, the beat is fire. And once I started listening to Abominations, I'm like, you know what? It's gonna be one of those albums, and this song is a standout, man. Rep That Wicked is amazing, you know. For the models, I'm waiting for the gangsters to come back, you know. Oh man, it's
He
so
killed
good.
that shit. The 7 killed the production.
7, yeah. Rep That Wicked is so fucking good. I had to make the list because I play that shit like crazy. That's such a good fucking song, man. Madrox killed it, you know. But Mono, man, Jesus Christ. But yeah, on number 10,
I'm a chainsaw soldier with insane ideals like fucking dead chicks and taking the world over.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Mono killed it on that fucking album, man. That's when Mono like leveled up completely. Like you started to hear it a little bit within Heartbroken and Homicidal, and then by Abominations, you was almost like, who is this motherfucker?
the chainsaws in the background too. Oh,
yeah, man.
God. I rep that wicked shit to the day that I die. It's a worldwide homicide. That shit is amazing. So yeah, that's my number 10. Rep That Wicked, man.
Hell yeah, great song.
Hell yeah. What you got, Ron?
My number 10. This is the only song post Psychopathic that's on the list, and it's Breakdown. Originally appeared on the Get Twiztid EP, and then appeared as a bonus track on the Darkness album. Breakdown is a fucking great song. The guitar on it, Monoxide kills it, Madrox kills it. This is just one of those songs that just amps me to fuck up. You know, the chorus, breakdown, like, love that. And when they perform it live, I go fucking nuts. Breakdown, number 10 for me. I love that track. Shit is hard as fuck.
I will say this. Well, I didn't listen to Mad Season yet, but The Darkness got some really good songs on it. I would say that. I got to listen to Breakdown again. I don't remember it, but dope.
Easily they're, my favorite song they've done since doing Magic Ninja. I just love that song. That shit gets me pumped.
Oh, yeah.
My number 10, I think, is the only Magic Ninja track that will appear on my top 10 as well. It's Magic Spells from Generation Nightmare. As soon as I heard that song, I immediately liked it. I was amazed by the range that Jamie Madrox was able to hit on it. And Monoxide, a lot of times, he doesn't fit in on the rock songs. But right away from his opening lyrics of that song, man, he had that song locked in and he was feeling it. And the lyrics matched perfectly with what Jamie was doing with the more melodic stuff. And I think it just mixed well. And I was just amazed that after 20 years of following the band, I thought that was Head PE that was singing that chorus originally, but yet it was fucking Jamie Madrox. That just backs up that multiple man claim even more.
Yeah, at first I was like, this is kind of gay. But then I'm like, I like this shit.
It's a good song. I can't front. It's a good song.
Generation Nightmare is not a good album to me, but that shit, I don't know, it's catchy.
It really is. Like, when I first heard it, I was like, I don't know. But by the time I got like through the second listen, I was like, yeah, this shit's hot.
I didn't like the video. I thought the video was hella cheesy, but the song itself, I thought I immediately liked it first listen.
Magic Spells.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, man. So number 9. Not my favorite album from Twiztid. It's definitely top 3. It's my favorite era and the way they looked, and the concert was fucking incredible. The tour was amazing. A Freak Show, Maniac Killer, and Insane Clown Posse, and Blazy Dead Homie. Always them there. So fucking good. Man, P-Rose shit talking in the beginning. I'll power bomb through a bit of butcher knives, motherfucker. I love that shit, you know?
Hell
And
yeah.
Blaze came through. Woo! Killed that shit, you know?
Yep.
Madrox and Mono did that thing.
Yeah, Madrox has probably got my favorite verse on that song. But like you said, the whole fucking song's great.
K-I-double-L-A. Yeah, he killed that shit, man. Such a good song.
Hell
Dope
yeah.
as fuck. That's when you drive with the homies to the Palladium and just singing that shit in fucking verbatim, you know?
Yep. Yeah,
Those
Blaze
them
had
days.
my favorite verse on there. Blaze killed.
Nigga, what? Yeah,
Yeah.
he killed that shit.
Hell
Killed
yeah.
that shit. Maniac
I
Killer's
be the
amazing.
maniac, K-I-double-L-A. I simply fucking thought it has sex with all the
All the
bodies.
bodies.
Love
Fire.
that song. Yeah, man, that whole era was so fucking good from all three of those acts, Blaze, Twiztid, and ICP. They didn't have any misses back then.
The best time to be a juggalo is 2001. Like, that's my favorite time frame. Before the 6 came out, like,
Yeah, that build up.
and those fucking orange freak show jerseys. That's what they wore at the show I seen them in.
Yep.
That's number 9 for me, Maniac Killer.
Dope pick. Number 9 for me. Off Mirror Mirror, The World.
Dog.
I fucking love this song. You could catch a buzz off me, smoke the resin off my tongue, disappear in the dark like the smoke in my lungs. They fucking killed it on there. I believe this was still Twiztid and Fritz doing all the production at the time. One of my favorite tracks just to get me amped up. That shit is hard. I love Mirror Mirror. I felt like it was slept on and underappreciated at the time, but it seems like as time has went on, people appreciate that album more now. But yeah, my favorite song off that album, shit is hard.
My first time meeting them too.
Same here in Boston, right?
Yes, was it Strawberries?
Strawberries, yeah.
April 02. I remember that.
Yeah, it was the night. It was the night Mirror Mirror dropped.
I remember this. I know Madrox had like Lucky Charm marshmallows in his eyelids, and he's like, "What up?" Kind of that shit.
Hell yeah! I got my House of Crazy's Home Sweet Home cassette signed.
Yeah, man.
At that in store. That was fucking fresh.
My boy Steve just like hyping in school, just hyping the day up and shit. I remember that, and that was like barely promoted too. And
yeah,
that's what I remember is discovering the album at the aforementioned disc jockey because I didn't know the album was coming out. I was just there on like a Friday hanging out playing like some Mortal Kombat or something in Aladdin's Castle arcade. Always go to the fucking CD shop and look at the ICP, Twiztid, Cottonmouth Kings, and all the underground shit, seeing if like something just randomly popped off. And I'll be damned if I look in Twiztid and there's just a new fucking album chilling there that doesn't even have a track listing on the back.
Yeah,
nothing.
It's a fire album.
Oh, it's so grimy and dark.
Yep.
And in left field contains one of the illest Violent J verses ever. Dog.
The back and forth with him and Mono is fucking amazing.
Yeah, Mirror Mirror is such a fucking vibe. Mm-hmm. Amazing album. I go to album. Great.
At my number 9, I'm gonna go with a track from Abomination's Extension Chords. I really like this song, especially because it's a nice change up pace from the rest of the album. It's almost like a palate cleanser and get you ready for the second half of the album. And it's something that doesn't sound like anything else on the album, so it just kind of really stands out to me.
Yeah,
it's a dope track.
It's such a good fucking song.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorites on Abominations.
The hook on there is catchy as fuck too.
Oh, Mono, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't think of it off the top of my head right now, but yeah.
I like Mono's lines in there. I'm from a whole nother dimension where demon freaks and chicks with big tits get my attention when I'm painted up looking like a freak show headed for a mime convention. Like that motherfucker was just on one on that whole album.
I think it's time for a little rant. Me and Rone talk about it all the time. It's just because they wear fucking face paint. And they have affiliation with ICP because these niggas can fucking rap.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy and Paul got bars all day. All right?
Hell yeah. And they're still rapping their asses off to this day.
They're some of the rare rappers in any genre of rap that have gotten better throughout their career. Like there's a lot of rappers come out and their first 3 albums are my favorite of their catalog. That's not how it is with Twiztid.
It's rare for an artist, just in any genre, period, to get better over time.
Yeah. Great choice, Jokerz Gallery.
Hell yeah.
That's a great
That's
joint.
why we're always trying to get Lex to take the paint off, because that motherfucker could blow up without
Yeah.
paint.
If Lex had Sutter Kane
Yeah.
production, the whole record, oh my
Yeah.
god,
Fire.
he's
Imagine-
dead nice.
Imagine Muggs producing a Lex album.
Oh man,
Hell yeah.
fire! All right, my number 8 off my favorite Twiztid album ever. Period. The Green Book, 2003. Hum Shabam.
Love it.
Dog, like I'm transported back to the Gathering 04. You know, my only Gathering, and they got the CC3 face paint with the fucking model got like the karate gi or some shit or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, and that song is just amazing, man. Some like fucking 1973 Exorcist vibes. You know, his body don't belong to you. You know, oh man, it's an amazing fucking song. I get chills. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when they perform that song live, that's like that. When that song comes on, the crowd fucking kicks it up. You know.
Storytelling to the max.
I thought it amped it up another level whenever they put a video out for it. It was like an animated video that told the story of the song. Like Twiztid made that themselves and actually put it out on Twiztid's YouTube. It kind of enhances the song even more whenever you see it come to life.
I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man. It's fucking shit, man. If I had to pick, that would definitely be top 3 of Green Book for me. But it's definitely in my top 10 Twiztid songs. Hum Shabam, number 8.
Fantastic fucking song.
Yeah.
Off a great album.
Oof.
Not mad at anybody that says that's their favorite or best album.
Yeah, man.
All right, my number 8. We're going to Freak Show to I'm All Right. If you're reading this, then I finally did it. I'm sorry I didn't say goodbye. There was no time. That sample, I've heard that sample be, flipped a few times over the years. I don't know where it comes from, but they killed that shit,
Yeah.
It's a more mellow, laid back track from Twiztid. But goddamn, if you feeling like shit and you want to feel a little bit better, even though that song is just about killing yourself, that song, I can go to that song anytime. I'm feeling like shit, anything like that. Put that on, I'll feel a little bit better afterwards.
What a way to end a fantastic album.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I fucking love that. The chorus on there, everything. Like,
the beginning of the track draws you in so well with Madrox's voice. It's really amplified on that track, and the backing music's really low, so it just draws you in immediately.
Right, and then when the drums kick in, fucking fire.
Such a good song. It's such a good song.
I'll move it to my 8th spot now, which is my second song off Abominations, which is my favorite Twiztid album. It's going to be the one that Mike already talked about, Rep That Wicked. That's the anthem right there. It's the chorus of it. The chorus of it, you get all the juggalos at a gathering of the juggalos singing along. That fucking chorus, that would be amazing.
Yeah, man, it's fucking great.
Yeah, when they performed that song live, I saw them perform for the first time a couple years ago at one of the Fright Fest shows or the Rock and Shock convention that they do here at the Palladium. And when the first time I saw that shit live, I was like, yes, finally they're playing this shit live. Like I
seen it second leg Abomination saw Poughkeepsie, New York. Second leg, they did that 2013.
Yep.
I want to say.
Yep.
That song is just fucking grimy as fuck.
Yeah.
I love it.
I got to see the final show on the Abominations tour. It was in Lexington, and it got snowed out the first time, so they came back, and it was the final date of the tour. So Madrox and Monoxide both threw their jerseys out after the show, and Madrox threw his right to me.
Oh,
so I got the fresh ass fucking Abominations era jersey they were wearing on stage for that. So that's fucking hella fresh.
That's dope.
That's dope.
Hell
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Climbing to number 7. Rone just mentioned it, man. Mirror Mirror. 02. The World. That shit is crazy. Madrox on point like cedar, fucking 9mm.
Yeah.
Oh man, they both fucking destroyed that shit. The beat,
Yes.
dark as fuck. My nigga Rome Bone just explained it great. I don't know what to say. He killed it, but The World, my number 7 off Mirror Mirror, man. This fantastic.
Great fucking song.
Yeah.
Just the whole attitude behind that album, and just the message and the way that their voices were in that album is what makes that album stand out.
So
It's just it's different from anything in their entire catalog.
Yeah, I like that album because it just seems like a middle finger to the industry, because they had put out the reissue of Most Tasteless on Island Def Jam, same with Freak Show, and then this was their first album independent, back just on Psychopathic, and it was just kind of like a fuck you, we're gonna kill this shit and we're gonna do it our own way.
And even the like comedy shit, Dirty Little Girl, yes. I love it. I fucking love it.
Hell yeah.
And the way they released it, I'm a big Alice in Chains fan. It's the same way that Alice in Chains released Sap. They wanted to put it out. They didn't want the label to fuck with it and tell them they had to have a single on the album. They did that shit themselves, put it out, didn't tell anybody about it, just let the fans find it in the record store and buy it.
Fuck yeah.
That's the way to do it, man. My boy PJ, my boy Paul, who's still a juggalo to this day, and I'm still cool with him. He brought it to school, like the flyer for it, like the artwork. That's what I found out,
Right.
And find out about the install and all that. And hell yeah. Mirror special.
Fuck yeah. All right. What number are we on? 7?
7, yeah.
7.
All right. My number 7 off of Abominations, Lift Me Up.
Oh, great song.
I fucking loved it. I can feel it now. It's getting obvious than ever. There's a problem, and I better try to figure out if I'm willing to solve it or ignore it like a middle child. And then the way he keeps rapping, and then that beat kicks in, and he really amplifies his voice and just starts going the fuck in. Monoxide, love that shit. And then the chorus, Blaze on the chorus, he kills it, even though he's not credited as a feature artist, but you can tell that's Blaze on the fucking hook.
Yo.
I love that. And, I might as well just say it now. I've always said emo Twiztid is the best Twiztid. This list is pretty much all emotional Twiztid shit. So these are the songs I go to.
Word.
I could be mad. I could be sad. I could, any kind of emotion. I can go to any of these songs on this list and just get that fix real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, Lift Me Up off Abominations. It's probably their best album musically. Maybe not necessarily my favorite, depending on the day. There's like 3 or 4 albums that I could say that are my favorite Twiztid album.
I don't mean the music, but the sound. That's like Dr. Dre, the chronic levels of crispiness. Like it sounds so good.
Yeah,
Abomination.
Amazing fucking album. But yeah, Lift Me Up, number 7.
Fuck yeah.
My number 7, I'll take it back to the very first release on Psychopathic Records. It's going to be Murder, Murder, Murder from Most Tasteless. I think it's an absolute classic. It's the first one that really drew me in, that became my first favorite Twiztid song back in the day after I picked up the original Most Tasteless whenever I got back from Halloween in 98. My first favorite Twiztid song ever would be Murder, Murder, Murder.
That's a fucking great song. I love the Method Man sample that's in there.
Yo. That's probably one of the things that drew me in.
Yup. The beat is so heavy. ROC produced that beat. Oh, that shit is. You got a decent system. That shit is banging.
It bangs. Yes. It bangs.
Yeah.
And some of the best storytelling of Twiztid's entire career.
Absolutely.
I mean, you could make a movie out of how well that is laid out lyrically. Like, it paints a picture for you.
Yeah. That'd be dope if we went back now and did a video for it.
Monoxide said one of their plans is to go back and start doing classic videos that they weren't able to do at the time. So hopefully it gets in there.
That'd be dope.
Great choice, Brandon.
It was also, I said it was my first Twiztid. I said it was my first favorite Twiztid song. It was also the first ever song I came out to when I started independent wrestling. I was named Quan Rage. I came out with like a hockey mask, and I came out to Murder, Murder, Murder.
That's dope.
That's a dope intro music. I can picture that shit. Like,
Well, I knew all the fans around the ring. All the people that got there early and bought front row tickets were all juggalos. So I knew they'd immediately pop for murder, murder, murder.
Fuck yeah. That shit is. I'm so glad they put it on like other compilations too. You know, because for a while
that song's been on fucking mad compilations.
Because for a while that OG Most Tasted was hard to get, and I know a lot of ninjas didn't have that. Yeah.
Now it's the other way around. The re-release is hard to get it's hard to listen to because it's not on any of the streaming formats.
Yeah. I uploaded it to Apple Music. I imported. I had to.
I've got an iPod I got in 2009 that I loaded up with all that classic shit. That's where I listened to the majority of all that shit. Like especially Cottonmouth Kings. Their discography is fucking crazy on anything streaming. Like it'll be there one day and then it won't be there again for 4 years. So I still listen to the majority of my Cottonmouth Kings collection off a 2009 iPod.
Yeah.
that annoyed me. Like one, I told Rone about it. One day, the Almighty was gone. I was like, what the fuck happened to this? And it comes back like 2 days later.
Yeah, weird.
You know. But number 6, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Y'all watch UFCD. You see how fucking baked I am half the damn time. So, yeah, this is a weed anthem. Bags.
Yes.
Off Freak Show. Oh my god, I fucking love that song. That's like I said, that's going into Palladium, just bumping it with your homies, rapping every fucking word. You need to get up and shut up with all that pride. No, you non-smoking niggas, get the fuck outside. Like, oh my god, dope chorus, dope ass song, ill beat. Did Mikey Clark do that? I'm pretty sure he worked on Freak Show.
Fritz and Twiztid did all of Freak Show.
Oh, well, I'm thinking of something else then. But yeah, killer shit. Bags is a fucking classic.
Hell yeah.
It's hard because I love Hydro off the Green Book.
I think it was the very first like actual Pacific weed song on Psychopathic ever.
That's
as far
my favorite.
as I could remember. There was the Smoke Break on the Secondhand Smoke.
Yeah.
It's not explicitly about weed though.
Right.
And Smoke Break was on there, and then on Bags, I think that was the first one that was all just a weed song on Psychopathic ever.
Yeah, shout out to Fritz. Fucking body that shit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Such a good fucking song.
He schooled that whole album. It sounded on the quality of like what Marilyn Manson and 9 Inch Nails was putting out in that time frame, and that's a high compliment.
I swallow, raise their blades and spit up, blood, shit like that. Yeah, fall apart and shit.
Hell yeah.
That's my favorite look they ever had. Like, oh man, and my favorite era of Twiztid too, bro. So yeah, Bags, yo, number 6.
Hell yeah, that one almost made my list. That was really close. That's a fucking amazing song. I love that shit.
Hell yeah.
Number 6 for me, I'm gonna keep it Freak Show. I'm going with Different.
Oh,
that riff kicks in, and then the scratching, fire. I'm different. I'm not like you. You know, that was the anthem when you're 17 years old and you don't know who the fuck you are. You're trying to figure everything out. That's the anthem right there. I'm different. I ain't like you. I'm trying to fit in. I don't know how, but this song, it makes you feel like you fit in. That's what they
strange, deranged, divine, and different.
Yes, sir. Fire. They both killed it. Great production again from Twiztid and Fritz. And yeah, I love that track.
If there was going to be a second video other than We Don't Die, I would pick that. It sounds like a single. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I could see a video for that.
No doubt.
2000.
I remember hearing Twiztid. I don't remember which one of them it was saying. It might have been both of them chiming in on it, saying that Freak Show was from the perspective of being a juggalo, and that song sums it up perfectly. The whole album does, but it speaks from being a juggalo. It doesn't speak from being mad monoxide. That album's supposed to speak to just through the eyes of a juggalo, and that song right there pretty much sums up that whole theory of that album.
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
Moving on now to my 6th spot. I'm gonna go with a weed track. Might beat me to it. It's not gonna be Bags. It's gonna be So High. I love that song, especially live at gatherings. It was so fucking live. Whenever that song would come on at gatherings, I always love whatever they mentioned shaking their buzz, doing the puffy dance, and fucking Mad Rock starts doing the puffy dance on stage and shit. Just love that song. Love the whole feel of it. Another classic track. like I said, I think Bags was the first really weed song that was ever released on Psychopathic. And as a juggalo that was a weed head, you always waited for those songs, and Twiztid always delivered for you. So I had to have like a Twiztid weed-related track. So I'll go with So High.
That's a great track.
I love that beat, too. It's so fucking good.
Yes.
The bumps, too.
Yeah, hell
Jay
yeah.
kills it on there, too.
Yeah, that's when Jay started smoking weed and shit. I mean, he started in like 02, but yeah, that's when he was like fully into it.
Great song. Man Smith.
Hell yeah.
And getting down to nitty gritty.
One of the stronger songs off Man's Myth.
Yeah, definitely. I like Man Smith for the most part. Yeah. Number 5, staying with Freak Show for me. Mutant X.
Yes.
Mutant X, dog.
Like, love that song.
I wasn't there, but the first gathering on the Behind the Freak Show DVD, it has a performance of them doing that shit. Amazing. You know?
I was there and I was like, what the fuck is this amazing song that I've never heard before?
So fucking dope. Brand new. Brand motherfucking new. Every MC in the vicinity bumped to number 2. Oh, man. They both bodied that shit, you know?
Hell yeah.
Came out sporting them fresh ass Freak Show jerseys that they just re-released on Magic Ninja's shop and sold out in like an hour.
The black joints, right?
Yeah, with the and the white Freak Show.
Yeah, that's a great song. Great way to start that album out.
Yeah.
That sets the tone.
The model killed that shit too.
Yep.
That shit hits and you're like, well, they've leveled up on this album. I'm ready for the rest of it.
Fuck yeah.
Mutant X, baby. That shit is so fucking dope. Classic. That's my number 5, y'all.
All right. My number 5. Brendan already talked about it. Off most taste list. Murder, Murder, Murder. God damn, if this ain't the hardest track off that album. The storytelling, like you were saying earlier, is phenomenal. The beat hits fucking hard. Just, I love that shit. When Jamie Madrox's talking about stabbing the fucking dog in the head with a steak knife and shit. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. You know what I mean?
My pa's sweaty about the vomit. I grabbed the knife out of my belt and jammed it in her stomach. Oh, that shit's hard, dog.
Yep.
When I was growing up, my mom didn't care what music I listened to, but that line from Madrox about killing the dog with a steak knife, she's like, that's kind of fucked up. What are you listening to? That's the only line ever from any Juggalo shit I was listening to. She's like, man, that's fucked up. Turn that song off.
That's funny. Yeah,
that shit in the mouth, the empty deuce. Not the couple teeth loose.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Smack him in the mouth with the empty deuce. Yeah. Fire. Love that song. The beat is just
Murder. Oh, man.
Hell yeah.
Shit is fucking ill.
That was like a hip hop version of what I was used to. As far as, you know, you get it, you love ICP songs, but this sounded like an actual hip hop song with that story in mind. That was the first time you really heard that, or for me personally, because I never heard HOK before I heard Twiztid.
Yeah, that was the great thing about Twiztid when I first heard them. I was like, okay, this is similar to ICP in the sense that they're rapping about, you know, crazy murdering and horror movie themes, but this is like real rap shit. Where, I mean, I'm not saying ICP ain't real rap shit, but it's not your traditional hip hop sound. Whereas Twiztid, especially the Most Tasteless album, kind of had that more traditional rap sound.
I remember playing Most Tasteless around niggas that ain't like ICP at all, like straight hood dudes, and they heard that like that shit's fire. You know, they even gave it props.
Yeah, Twiztid was always more passable than ICP was to like an average hip hop head.
My boy, if you know him or not, Misanthropic on YouTube, he's huge. Like,
yeah, he's dope. I've been watching him forever.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine, Solomon.
Okay.
Yeah, he loves Twiztid. He loves it.
Yeah, he does. That's how I found him, was just finding him reviewing their albums and shit.
Yeah, he's a real one, dog. I love that. Yeah. He's been a friend for over 10 years. He's a real one.
Hell yeah.
Shout to my nigga, Misanthropic one.
Moving up to my 5 spot now, I go with We Don't Die, which was just an epic song. And the thing that I think makes it so important, other than just how good the song is it got that video, and it let Juggalos have a look and kind of a way to support Twiztid. All of a sudden, you know what Twiztid looks like. You know what their paint scheme is. You know how they dress. They got those Juggalo jerseys on. All of a sudden, Juggalos could connect to them more than just through music. You knew how to rep them. You could start looking like them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And there was a lot of ninjas, myself included, with them spider webs back as soon as that shit dropped.
Same.
Hell yeah. That's dope. I never had long hair like that, so I couldn't do it, but yeah.
Yeah, I had long hair half my damn life. Yeah, man. So I had them shits. Yo, I tell niggas this. That's the greatest, to me, Psychopathic Records video ever made. The Juggalo version.
That's
my
up
favorite.
there. Sure.
That was when Island was paying for videos, so it actually had that big money record label money behind it. I think the only ones that ICP ever put out would be like Let's Go All the Way, and the ones that Island was able to put their bankroll behind. But the way that they knocked it out of the park with We Don't Die, especially that Juggalo version, which has become very hard to find unless you actually own the Born Twiztid DVD. It's hard to find the actual Juggalo version. But they knocked it out of the park. Everybody was on it. You had Blaze on there with his classic, the first ever look Blaze had. And it was also the first time that most Juggalos seen all those fresh ass jerseys that all the dudes was sporting in them, like the Carnival Carnage jerseys and shit. That video just hit perfectly on everything.
The rapping on the fucking Ouija board.
Yeah.
Jamie showing off the Dark Lotus on his wrist, like
Monoxide's making all those crazy fucking taunts as he's moving on the Ouija board and shit, like praying and then fucking like wigging out. It's fucking that video was just flawless.
Yep.
With a bitch name tatted on your chest. Oh, dog! Like they kill
their Oprah personas of not wearing paint. Like I don't even know if a lot of people know that, because unless you watch the Juggalo version, the faces are blurred out. The people they put in the trunk and blow up is the people they kill and throw in the trunk is Paul and Jamie without makeup.
Yeah. They put a gasoline on them and shit. And
yeah.
Love that video. So fucking good.
Yeah, great song too.
We're number 4. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Man, off my favorite Twiztid record, The Green Book, I'm going Afraid of Me. Afraid of Me is my shit, man. You know, I got problems and they stack like bills, and I relate to the broken, bleeding heart, love, kill. So fucking good. I remember seeing that video at my boy's house. You know,
that video was dope.
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
it was like made for the internet and shit. It was like the first time. It was the first like internet savvy video ever made. And then I remember whenever they left Psychopathic, people was finding the date. Remember that? The date that they left Psychopathic was in that fucking video.
I remember that. I remember that.
I remember there was like subliminal messages or something in that video about them.
Yeah.
Psychopathic.
Yep. And that date's on in that video. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's a great song.
That was December 2012.
That was the song. If you were a fan of Freak Show, you immediately connected to from the Green Book. You're like, all right, this is gonna be some shit I still dig.
One of the greatest booklets ever made is the Green Book booklet. Oh, I love that. Dope chorus too. Afraid of Me is a 5 out of 5 song for me.
They had that island money still.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's a dope track. Almost made my list.
Yeah.
All right, number 4 off Mutant. No, I know I'm not a fan of Mutant. I know.
I already know what this song is because I almost put it on mine.
Yeah. But this is easily the best track off Mutant. One of my all-time favorite Twiztid songs, Familiar.
Oh, I love it.
I fucking love this song. Even the remix that they did on the remixed and remastered Mutant version is really good. I prefer the original a little more. But damn, I fucking love this. The chorus, you know, the whole musical aspect. I know they got like Kid Rock's drummer drumming on here and shit. But yeah, easily the best song off Mutant. One of my all-time favorites. This is like one of my go-tos. If I'm in a Twiztid mood, I'm throwing it. This is one of the first songs I'm throwing on. Love this shit.
Twiztid rock done right.
Yes. Absolutely.
Madrox on the chorus, familiar to me.
Yeah, the cycle is all too familiar to me.
I can hear that on the radio, like in early mid 2000s. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's a good.
That's a radio song all day.
It's a great fucking song, dog.
Love that song.
Same way I was talking about Magic Spells whenever I heard it being like, damn, I didn't know this dude could do that. That was how I felt whenever I heard Familiar. I didn't know he could be that melodic.
Yep.
It's a great fucking song, and I hate that album, but that Triple Threat,
pretty much it.
That's it. Stardust is all right, yeah.
That's it.
I'm moving on to my fourth spot now. We already talked about it, so we ain't got to spend any time on it. Hamsha Bomb from the Green Book. Just one of my favorite tracks ever, one of the best live tracks ever. And like I said already, once I seen the video for it where it's animated, it was even doper because the story came to life.
Yep. It's like the perfect live song for Twiztid. Like you hear that song come on, and it's like, yes.
You're just waiting to scream the chorus.
Exactly. Yep.
Fuck yeah. So yeah, we got down to the nitty gritty top 3 right now, yo. My top 3, number 3, off the re-release of Most Tasteless in 1999, featuring Violent J, Blink.
Yeah.
That shit is amazing. Blink. I love Blink.
That was like a taste of Dark Lotus.
Yeah.
When Show me what lies just beyond my eyes. You take me to the spirit. Or how it goes.
Where the spirit lies.
Yep.
Behind my eyes.
Is it really fact or a pack of lies? Tell me what's beyond my eyes.
Shit like Blink and Bury Me Alive and Rock the Dead. It makes it hard. Every time motherfuckers ask me, what you like better, OG or re-release? It's hard.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if they didn't do the re-release and Mikey Clark produced that second album with that sound. Imagine, like, because you had Blink, Hound Dogs, Rock the Dead, all those songs, and just imagine a full length with that sound. Holy shit!
Bury Me Alive.
Yeah, that album if they did an album with that kind of, Mikey Clark production, would have been fucking amazing. It was still great, even though it was a re-release. But geez, imagine a full length.
That Spin the Bottle popped with the Juggalettes too. That was that fucking track.
I like that too.
I like the song, but man, that fucking shit popped with the Juggalettes. Yeah. They love that shit.
Yep. Not one bad song off the original or re-release of Most Tasteless.
Back when Juggalettes were fine as fuck, they weren't stuck up. That's back in them days.
Yep. Yeah. Fucking dope track.
Number 3, Blink.
Yeah.
All right, number 3 for me, we're going Green Book, and we're going Darkness, the last song on the album. How come this wasted time? I'm fucking it all up. But that song, I think Jonathan Davis was originally supposed to be on that song, if I remember correctly.
Oh, shit, imagine.
Yeah. I remember there was talk of him being on the album, Chester from Linkin Park. I think Lil Jon was supposed to be on the album. But
have you ever seen that video where Jonathan Davis is talking about ICP dissing him, and he's like saying how it sucks because he was really down with what ICP and the Juggalos was doing?
No,
I gotta see that.
Yeah, I'll find it and send you the link to it. But yeah, he says he was really into what ICP and the Juggalos was doing, and it was MTV that fucking fucked up the Family Values tour that ICP was supposed to be on. MTV said they wouldn't sponsor it or talk anything about it if ICP was on it. And I guess since Korn was like the face of that tour, ICP blamed it on Korn.
Yeah. But yeah, Darkness is just a great closer to an amazing album. One of my go-tos, again, it's that heavy rock sound from Twiztid, done right. Fucking amazing song. Love it.
It's
when Twiztid does
a good rock song.
When Twiztid does rock right, man, it's really fucking good.
Yeah.
I'll keep it on the closing song tip because my number 3 is going to be Whoa Whoa, just because. just because I wanted to get one of the closing tracks from Twiztid, because any closing track almost on any album is really good from Twiztid. Whoa Whoa is the one that I really dug. I really like the Monoxide chorus in that part in that song, but I could have picked any of the closing tracks. You got renditions. I think we've already picked the closing track from Freak Show. Picked the closing track from Green Book. You could have went with Love Don't Live Here Anymore. I just wanted to get a shout out for the closing track, so I'll go Whoa Whoa, because I wanted to get Wicked, the album, represented, because Wicked, when it came out, that album kind of saved the Juggalo culture a little bit. That was in the era where I know us three weren't listening to ICP because of the music they were putting out then, and I'd kind of fallen off of the whole Juggalo scene. And then whenever Wicked came out, it felt like I was listening to 2001 era Juggalo shit again. And I got back into it. I went back to The Gathering, and that was before the second deck came out. So what really drew and kept the Juggalo culture going during those couple of years, as much as some people wouldn't want to admit it now, is Wicked coming out and being as good as it fucking was.
I would agree with that.
Oh, go ahead, Ron. What you say, brother?
I would agree with that statement.
There was nothing to get into then. There was nothing I connected to. I like Tempest now, but I didn't like it originally. And I didn't like the Calm or the Eye of the Storm at all. And coming off Independence Day with Twiztid, I didn't really like. It's good, but it's not a Twiztid album that I connected to and wanted to bump, because there's so many fucking guest appearances. It didn't really feel like a full Twiztid album. So that Wicked, when it came out, man, it really reconnected with a lot of old school Juggalos and brought them back. And that 2009 Gathering of the Juggalos was the most highly attended one ever. And whenever Twiztid came out, they were rocking the look from Wicked and everything. That fucking crowd went crazy and knew every lyric to Wicked, and we're just waiting for that show to be able to sing along with Twiztid. It was that big.
That Tempest era was disgusting for me. Independence Day and Clockwork Gray were my favorites. But you're right, Brandon. When Wicked came out, it's like, oh my god. Shit like, All the Above, Whoop Whoop.
Crossroads In.
Crossroads In.
They Told Me.
They Told Me is so fire.
When I Get to Hell, Whoop Whoop. Those are classics.
God. Nigga Monoxide said, I'm gonna get what's left on Heath Ledger's stretcher or some shit like that. My god. That's the Wicked shit, bro. That album's amazing to me.
And they toured that album. Like, they played that album front to back, too.
And the Days tour, man. I was there, bro.
Yep. Fucking such a dope show. They had the screens up on the stage.
Rocking the fucking suits.
Yep.
The video that came out was fucking dope. Like, is how it was supposed to be, like how Monoxide and Madrox met up. They were killing people, and then like one of them tried to kill the other.
Yeah.
And they ended up meeting and becoming Twiztid. Like, that video was fucking super dope. It was just that feeling you wanted whenever you watch a Twiztid video or listen to a Twiztid song. Like, that shit that hadn't been there in 4 or 5 years was all of a sudden reminded, oh yeah, they can do that shit when they want to, and they can probably do it better than anybody else.
2009 was the year of like Psychopathic is back, because
a
couple of months after that, Bang Pow Boom comes out.
ICP had to step their game up. They had all these odds on them. They seen how big that gathering was, and ICP blew it out of the water at that 2009 gathering. They debuted like 4 or 5 of the Bang Pow Boom songs live on their set that closed out the gathering. And whenever they played Bang Pow Boom, the final track of that album to close out the gathering, I thought like shit was blowing up. I didn't know like they were gonna do pyro. Like they spent money on pyro that you see like a big city spend on 4th of July to like do fireworks for their city. Like they spent tens of thousands of dollars on fireworks to just have that shit blowing up. It was fucking magic being there and hearing Bang Pow Boom's closing track for the first ever time as fucking explosions are going off. It was fucking magical.
That's a great Fago Armageddon song.
Yeah. Yeah, I love when they end with that song. Great fucking show ender.
Oh yeah. So down to the last 2.
Yes, sir.
And and it's so crazy. Great minds think alike. We all got fucking album enders, closes, you know what I mean? So my number 2 off Most Tasteless, Renditions of Reality, man. That shit is amazing. The shit is incredible. Monoxide, Madrox is floating on that shit. Nice storytelling, you know.
Yep.
Talking about still gonna be dead in the morning. Why take the fall? You know, your homie got murked. Why go out and get revenge? You know, nothing's gonna change. You're gonna be happy that you killed the nigga, but you know, he's still gonna be dead.
Ain't gonna
It's
bring
real.
him back.
Yeah, it's real shit.
Yep.
I worship that song. You know, such a good song. Appeared on what? Head Trauma. It's okay. Original.
Yeah, the original version, and Monoxide's verse was almost exactly the same. There was a couple little switch ups, but yeah, his verse was almost exactly the same.
It's such a good fucking song. It really is. I love it. At one point, it was my favorite, but we got something else as number one. But that shit, incredible. My number two, and This Is a Reality of Most Tasteless.
And like Rone was saying, like the emo Twiztid is the best Twiztid. That's probably the first emo Twiztid you ever heard, because that whole fucking first album of Most Tasteless is about killing people and shit like that. And then you get to that last song, you're like, damn, they kind of flipped it up there at the end. ICP was kind of almost famous for that, and Twiztid matched them with renditions of reality.
100%. All right, number two for me, another album closer off Abominations. Love Don't Live Here Anymore. It's Been Cold Since You Went Away. I love when they end shows with that song. That's another just go-to. Madrox kills it on there, you know, that first verse. And then Monoxide comes in on the second verse. Just a great way to end an album that was like, holy shit, this is like a whole new Twiztid that came out of nowhere almost, you know? But yeah, I love that song.
It was like Familiar on Spinal Tap 11.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Yep.
It was one of those. It was one of those songs you could play for anybody and they like it. It ain't got to be a Juggalo or a Twiztid fan. Like just fans of good music like that song.
Yeah, it's just a super relatable track. Like Twiztid's good at doing shit like that, and this track right here, just an amazing song.
I remember if you was on like Facebook at the time, and you in the Juggalo community, every ninja Juggalo as well had like the lyrics to that shit just on their timeline and shit.
Yeah,
it's their most popular stream song to this day still. It's number one whenever you look at most popular Twiztid tracks. It's number one. Monoxide was talking about that. He said whenever he was talking about making videos for songs they did, and he said that's going to be one because of how popular it remains on their streams.
That'd be dope.
Such a good song.
I love that shit.
Oh yeah.
Emo Twiztid is my favorite.
And you were talking about how good that song is to close out concerts, to be the closing track. I'll move it up to my number two spot with the song they play after they end that. I love how they play that song and then go black and go dark, and then Rock the Dead comes on.
Yes.
And Rock the Dead is the song that kind of blew up for Twiztid. It first appeared on Fat or Whack, so you only got to hear a verse and a chorus of it. And Ninjas was just like, holy shit, because you got to remember, all you had heard is that previous Most Tasteless OG stuff, and this had that new polish on it. Had that just chorus that got in your head and wouldn't stop. I remember back in the day, people had looped that 2 or 3 times. They just took what was on the Fat or Whack back in 99, whenever that shit comes out. Like they had taken like the 30-second snippet and just put it like 3 or 4 times on a loop so people could listen to it over and over. And they were getting mad listens to that shit. Like people were waiting on that. That was the first track that really came out that was new once people had discovered Twiztid through Most Tasteless. Whenever you heard that fucking Rock the Dead, you was like, oh shit, I gotta hear what's coming up.
All 3 of us are OG ninjas, so we lived through that. You know, I remember getting that the same day as Limp Bizkit's Significant Other. I remember that. And when it came out, you know?
Yeah.
But when I go back to Rock the Dead, I'm like, oh my God, this is so fucking good. And when you revisit music, it's just a great feeling. Because that takes it back to that time frame. Rock the Dead is an amazing song, though.
It's a fucking anthem.
Yes.
I think it's probably It's probably between We Don't Die and Rock the Dead is probably the two most popular Twiztid songs among juggalos and at live shows. It's like those are like the ones you gotta see.
Yep, absolutely.
I think, and just the significance of it, like I said, of putting them on the map. Like people had heard Most Tasteless, and people had kind of found Twiztid throughout that entire run. Like they didn't really get pushed whenever that album came out, and it only came out locally. It was only in the Midwest, so even people that heard about them anywhere else couldn't find them, even if they were looking. So, and then they had that national distribution deal all of a sudden, and the first thing you hear from them that gets put out on Fat or Whack, which got put everywhere. I went to a record store in Florida the week or two after Amazing Jekyll Brothers had dropped, and this record store was stocked with Fat or Whack. They had the Twisted Orange poster, the label that runs beneath the streets poster. They had the 3 cover AP poster. Like that was whenever ICP was getting pushed like crazy by Island, and you got to give all the credit in the world to ICP for this. They gave Twiztid 50% of that, and all of a sudden Twiztid was a national act, and the first thing that people got to hear from them as a national act was Rock the Dead, and it fucking set the stage.
Yeah, those Fatter Wax samplers were everywhere. I had the cassette of the Fatter Wax sampler. It was a red tape, red foil. That shit was ill.
That's dope.
All I had to do was buy a copy of the Jekyll Brothers, and they literally gave me like 12 to 15 Fatter Wax. That's how many they had still after it had been dropped. Because I asked them how to get that and the posters and everything. They said you got to buy. It was for promotional for this album. I was like, oh, I already got that album, but I'll buy that album again if you'll give me that Fatter Whack. Because those things I didn't know how rare they were back in the day, but they ended up not being rare at all. But dude threw me like 15 Fatter Wax, like a stack of 20 Jekyll Brother bumper sticker looking stickers, the ones that had the Mad Professor on the back of it. It was half was black and half was gray. And then he threw me each of the posters they had too. So that's how like well stocked. That's how well stocked this record store was. Like a couple weeks after it had already released, and they'd given away all they expected to. They just handed me a bag full of shit just for buying one album. So that shit was getting pushed everywhere.
I remember seeing the Fatter Wax a lot around from Ninjas, and kind of remind me of the Bang Pop Boom samplers, which I couldn't. I still got them.
Yeah,
that's the only one that's got printed. I think that's the only one that got printed more than Fatter Whack was the Bang Pal Boom sampler, and that is everybody's free gift whenever you buy something in like the museum or something. They're like, I throw some bonus flavor in.
Yeah.
You get a Bang Pal Boom sampler.
You're like, I already got 5 of these fucking things.
Yeah, I got literally like 3, 4 of them. I gave it a lot away.
That's funny.
Man, Jesus.
They gave everybody that went to that gathering that I was talking about in 2009, it was in your bag whenever you got there, whenever you got your amulet and your program and everything, you got that sampler. So that was rumored to be 15,000 to 20,000 juggalos attended that one because it was the 10th annual gathering. And so they probably printed up 20,000 right there. Right. And then they sent them to Hot Topic. Hot Topic was pushing them. So that's probably another 100,000 to send them to some kind of place like Hot Topic where you got all those chains. So yeah, that's a lot of copies of a sampler. That's why you can get them for free still. It was cool because they were bringing back the Dark Carnival and they brought back that sampler.
Right.
Like they
had to wait for that album to come out.
Yeah, that was fucking. Especially after hearing those songs live at that gathering before they had dropped Bang Pal Boom, because that gathering, I think it was in early August, and then Bang Pal Boom dropped in September. And all you heard was that sampler and then the songs they played at their actual show, and they were all really fucking good songs. So it got you really hyped for that album.
Oh yeah. Number 1 now, y'all. Fucking Rone talked about it. I think Brandon might have. I can't remember, but. Of Most Tasteless again, man. Murder, Murder, Murder. My favorite Twiztid song of all time, dog. Like
I think that's the only song that's on all 3 of our top 10s.
Yeah.
Which might tell you that's the best Twiztid song.
It's my favorite. Like we already talked about it. I got nothing much to say. Just amazing, dog. Like Madrox and Mono coming through with ill verses. The wicked shit, the real wicked shit.
Yeah.
Classic.
Love it. Just amazing storytelling, to keep repeating myself.
Yeah.
Love that shit. It's so ill.
That's such a good song.
Yep. All right. Number 1 for me, fuck it. Let's go 3 in a row with the album closer off Most Tasteless Renditions of Reality. Mike already talked about it.
Man.
But this song, it hits different. It hits different now than when it did 20 years ago. I can't listen to this shit without crying.
That word.
That's how it hits me now. I've lost friends. So Monoxide's verse comes on and it's like, fuck, man. I feel it. It hurts, but it's like a good hurt, because it's like therapy listening to it. It's just, I fucking love this. I love the remix that was on Cryptic Collection 1.
Yep.
Fucking fire. Had more pianos in it and stuff like that. But yeah, man, without a doubt, Renditions of Reality, I don't know, the most emotional fucking song I can listen to from Twiztid. Like, hits me in the chest. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. I lost a lot of friends too, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks. Yeah, that hit me too.
I like you brought up that remix that was on Cryptic Collection 1. That piano really kind of emphasizes the whole message of that song and makes you feel it even more. It's like it's an even more vibe of a song.
I'd say the remix is just as good as the original.
Yup.
But yeah,
which is really rare.
Yeah, extremely rare.
And there's lyrics throughout that I relate to.
Yeah.
I'm not a people person. I'm not.
Yeah.
Because I can't stand too many people. You know what I mean?
Yep.
What do you say? What's up with his ceiling? And this how I got a nigga feeling there's a difference to reality. Oh man, like
yeah.
I feel that shit. All that shit. Yeah,
man. It's a perfect song from Twiztid, if you ask me. Love it. It was a great way to end Most Tasteless and a great way to end my top 10 list.
So dope together. So dope we dropped it twice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of, I'll move it up to my number 1 because it got dropped twice as well. With that re-release, it's gonna be Secondhand Smoke. Like I said, it was the thing that stuck in my head for a fucking 30-hour bus trip back to Owensboro from Hallowicked 98. It was the thing that made me really pay attention to the rest of that show because Twiztid comes out. Gwar opened for that show, and you couldn't hear Gwar because there was chants of ICP, 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 ICP throughout Gwar's entire set. And you know how fucking loud Gwar is. And Harpo's is a really small place, and Gwar can light that motherfucker up with some audio. But they were getting drowned out by ICP, ICP. And then you're sitting there watching ICP, and they're like, we're going to bring our homies out to do some songs. And 99% of the time, whenever that shit happens, and I don't know the homies they're bringing out, I ain't going to like it. But these dudes fucking stole the fucking show as soon as they came out. And I got to see them with just the hoods. They weren't rocking masks. They weren't rocking face paint. It was just them in the hoodies. So, and that song is the one, like I said, that first lyric, I represent the East Side, no peace. Fuck the police. As soon as I heard that, I was a Twiztid fan. So that's got to be my number 1 song.
Yeah, I remember when my homie got that CD and he called me up. He's like, I got the Twiztid CD come through. Let's listen to it. And then that first line and that beat, when that shit kicks in, I was like, yep, this is it. This is that shit. That's all I need to hear.
Such a good album.
Oh, classic. Like,
okay.
Other than $85 an hour, I wouldn't have a problem with. I probably thought about putting every other song on those albums, the original and re-release, in my top 10. That's how good that album is.
Yeah. Yep.
Like Meat Cleaver, I love that fucking song. Back in the day off the OG. Like I thought about that one. She Ain't Afraid, that's my favorite like Twiztid Freak song.
Yeah.
Same.
Like it starts off just the same way that like Secondhand Smoke fucking grabs you. Like it starts off same way. Let's get high and just fuck. I was like, okay, I'm down with that. Let's do it.
Right. Yeah, Meat Cleaver was like the first Psychopathic Posse cut too.
Where had Misery on it even.
Yeah, Misery fucking killed it on that shit.
Misery killed that whole era.
Yeah.
until he dipped after that, that first thing, man. I really dug everything he did.
Yep.
Jay killed that shit, man. Shaggy climbs up my back and we attack and hit you like a 10-foot
ninja.
Yeah.
I paint my face like a clown. Other times I come like Sting and come down from the rafters up at the mall.
Fire.
Where the nigga Jay was like, I'm twisted like Sam Kinnison's back after the car wreck.
Yeah,
That's when Violent J didn't care if he offended anyone or God himself with any of his lyrics.
Right.
Nope.
Yep.
None of those dudes did that. Like in that era, they didn't give a fuck what they said. Like even Violent J's I remember Violent J was dissing on Michael Jackson. Now he fucking jocks the shit out of Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
But they edited it out. They edited it out whenever they put it out. I think it was Amazing Jekyll Brothers where they're talking shit about Michael Jackson, but it was on the sampler. It was on the Mad Professor sampler, unedited.
Yeah, it was. Michael Jackson squeezing some little kid's balls, whatever the fuck.
Yep. Yeah, and they edited it out on the fucking Jekyll Brothers, but it was on the fucking sampler, unedited. And now they fucking love him. Don't say anything bad about him.
One of my favorite Clown and ICP collabs is I Don't Care. That almost made my shit. Oh, man.
Came out first time I heard it, I think, was The Pendulum, right?
Yeah.
I think
like it was a Pendulum single. Yeah. Fuck it. What's the main event on Raw?
I think that was like one of the first, Dark Lotus tracks to come out after Echo Side. I think it was billed as a Dark Lotus track, or could be wrong.
That's back when the Clowns and Twiztid were rapping with like good guitars and like actual good rock music.
That's because they had Mike Clark.
Yeah, he really played the instruments like the Tempest. That shit sound like keyboarded and shit. I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
Rich Morrell was playing some of them guitars too back then.
Oh yeah, that's true too. That's
Legs,
right?
Yeah, that's Legs Diamond.
Yeah.
The kids love the Kelly Green, all the alternative kids with the chain welding.
Yeah.
I was watching Not Slim's one channel not too long ago, and he said he wanted he said he wasn't talking about, he wasn't referencing Shockumentary, but he said he wanted some kind of ICP shirt in Kelly Green. And I was like, and I put in the chat, Not Slim One is an alternative kid with a chain wallet. Nobody got the reference. Like even like Not Slim One, he read it. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, shout out to Not Slim One, fellow Bender boy. That's my brother right there. Me and him and Rone did Bizarre. That was a fun time.
Yeah, I watched that one. Yeah, I always watch Not Slim One's channel. He's entertaining as fuck.
Yeah,
like his gathering videos are really good.
Yeah, Blake's a real one, man. I love Blake.
That shit where they used to eat a bunch of food until one of them like either was able to like eat all the food or puke. That shit was funny as fuck. Why would you do this? Like they had to stop because it fucked them up all so bad, but they were just doing that shit just to like entertain us.
Across the board, I'm pretty sure I know Rone's favorite Twiztid albums. Most Tasteless, correct or what?
Yeah, Most Tasteless for me. Yeah.
Green Book for me and Abominations. Right?
Abominations for me.
Oh yeah.
I always say like Most Tasteless, Freak Show, Green Book, and Abominations. Like those 4 albums.
That's the.
It's like prime.
Yeah, man. Flawless shit. Thank y'all for coming on, man. I don't want to keep y'all too long. But,
this was fun. It was fun making this list. When I first did this list and I put songs, I had like 38 songs. I was like, shit.
Yeah, that's my second time making this.
Yep. There was a lot of shit that I wanted to put on here, but this is like, I've said it before. I could go dig up an old tweet from 2 years ago if you want me to, but I've always said Emo Twiztid is my favorite, and this list proves it.
Yeah.
We gotta do a top 10 Alice in Chains song. I know both of y'all are both into Alice in Chains. That'd be fun too.
Yeah, we'll do it with my nigga, and Speaker Club co-host Russ Hartley, because he loves AIC. And
is he who you did the Dirt review with?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. I watched that. I really liked that.
Yeah, Dirt is, and I gotta finish watching the documentary. It's amazing so far. I'm gonna finish it.
Appreciate it, man. Like I was worried about like putting out something that wasn't Juggalo related, because I can put shit that's Juggalo related out on Fago Lovers and have 14,000 like subscribers that gets notified about it, and I can put it out on all Fago Lovers like social media, which has like 250,000 people following it and shit, and get people to watch it. But I just put this one out on my own. Like I put it out on the HRN channel, and it has near 5,000 views already. So I was just hoping it would get to 1,000. So I already have 5,000 views after 2 weeks, man. I was super happy. And really, there's nobody talking shit in the comments that they disagree or that I've said anything that they don't think is inaccurate. I really spent fucking pretty much the whole quarantine time once shit got shut down, like researching the fuck out of it to make sure that there was no inaccurate facts in there, because the biggest thing that's hurt the legacy of Alice in Chains is there's 2 books that got out that contain info that were from a fake interview. So people think because it's in a book that it actually happened, and it didn't. And it's just let so much false information out. The books are called Angry Chair. And then once people found out that was false, she re-released the book called Get Born Again. So those 2 books really fucked things up. And another Alice in Chains fan felt the same way, and he ended up writing an actual book called The Untold Story of Alice in Chains. His name's David DeSola. He's a really good dude, really, really good book. And I had him fact-checked all my shit for the documentary. I sent him the link to it, and he watched it over. I was like, if I fucked up anything, I think you're the foremost expert on Alice in Chains other than the dudes that were in the band. So let me know. And he didn't say that I fucked up anything. So I'm pretty confident that everything in there is 100% accurate.
Well, I'm going to take like 2 weeks off from fucking YouTube and shit. And when we come back, I think we should do the Alice in Chains, man.
Hell yeah, man.
If time permits with you guys.
I can't front. After watching the Dirtumentary, I've been bumping a lot of Alice in Chains.
Fuck yeah, man. That's awesome. That was the whole intent, because that's what The Untold Story did for me. Like, Dirt was fucking just, a classic fucking album. But then after hearing the stories behind, knowing like the stories that was going on behind the scenes, and hearing Dirt, it's a fucking another level good album after hearing the stories and knowing what was going on and just seeing how pure and honest that Lane was being with his lyrics.
Hell yeah.
Alice in Chains fucking dominates all. One of my favorite bands ever. So I'm down
Yes,
for
sir.
that. So Rone, where can people get at you, brother? Any social medias and all that? Want to drop that or what?
BeneathDirt.com. I just dropped the 100th episode featuring these 2 guys, Chuck Reeves and Robbie from Twiztid History. It's out right now on fucking everywhere you can listen to podcasts, YouTube included. So go peep that.
Fuck yeah. Man.
That was a fun ass listen. I went back and listened to it when I woke up this morning. It went by so fast, and we were talking about so much shit that I kind of forgot what we even talked about. So to go back and listen to it, man, I had a good time even listening to it after I was in the actual conversation the first time.
That was a blast. I was sipping some vodka with a straw and shit.
Hell yeah. That's dope.
Yeah, that was fun, man. Happy 100 episodes, brother, too.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Here's to 100 more as well. Keep that shit going, because a lot of people fall off, and I hate to see it, and especially people to create good-ass content. And like I said at the end of that show, you've taken over Vince McMahon's spot on Mondays. As soon as Monday comes, I'm looking for Beneath the Dirt.
Hell yeah. That's what's up. I appreciate it.
How about you, Brandon? Where can people find your shit?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Jokerz Gallery. Joker's got a Z in it. And if you want to watch Dirtumentary, you just go to YouTube and type in Dirtumentary. That's why I made sure it was a unique name that hadn't been taken. I didn't want to use a title of an Alice in Chains song where people type in the name of my documentary and they can't find it. You type in Dirtumentary, and that's pretty much the only thing that comes up. And if you want to see it in my Juggalo documentaries, you can go to Fago Lovers YouTube channel, and there's an actual playlist. It's got all my documentaries in it. One of the documentaries, 2019, which is about the Amazing Juggle Brothers, has these 2 gentlemen right here that I've been talking to for the past hour in it.
Yeah.
That thing has 16,000 views, which I'm very proud of that.
Holy shit.
I'm so thankful.
Other than an ICP video, it's the most popular upload on Fago's YouTube in years.
That's hell.
Fuck yeah. Great documentary, too.
Yeah, y'all dudes killed it, man. Everybody I reached out to killed it for that.
Yeah, that was fun talking about that album.
All right.
Get ready for the invitations to do it in 2022 for the race.
The race.
Yeah.
2002, baby.
I love Shangri-La. You already know.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
My UFC
And that whole era.
Don't, but yeah, man. And then right now, Mike Sears, B Club Podcast. Rumble Beneath the Dirt, Jokerz Gallery. See you motherfuckers on the flip side, y'all. Peace.
Hey, yo.
Peace.